I nominated Brian Vargo for the Hall of Fame because I knew him as a student when I was here at Warrior Run as the principal. He always was just a really positive, earnest learner and participated in sports. He was active in other activities. So he always was that kind of a student. So if I had to describe him in one word, I would say creative. He really has a very inventive, creative mind.
Hi, my name is Brian Vargo. I'm a 1987 graduate of Warrior Run High School. After graduating, I attended Penn State University, graduated in 1991. After graduation, I moved to Japan, and I lived in Japan for about 4 years. After I was done teaching English in Japan, I then came back to the US and I thru-hiked the Appalachian Trail in 1995. After I completed that, I then moved to Hawaii for a few years, and then Seattle, and then finally made my way back to this area in 2002. In 2002, I returned to Pennsylvania to visit my parents. And while I was home, I met a person that owns a company that is a distributor in the hiking backpacking industry. And I never thought there would be a company like that in Williamsport, Pennsylvania, but there is. And while I was meeting this person, he actually offered me a job to work for them. And it was a major career path, but hiking and backpacking was a passion of mine. It's something I was interested in as a hobby. And I decided to take a chance, and I took the job. And that was a very definitive moment in my career. The ways I found success. Probably the most important thing for me is creativity. So the way that this business has grown, for me, has been creating new ideas, coming out with new designs that have a function that maybe doesn't exist already. And really coming out with these new products is the way that I have been successful all of these years. In addition to hard work, in addition to putting in the hours and taking the risks that most small businesses go through. I think for me, I've been very fortunate in being able to come up with new ideas and new designs that people seem to like. And that's a great feeling as well, that if people actually like the things that you create. My proudest accomplishment with my business is simply the fact that it's been in existence for 20 years. Times have changed in so many different ways since I started this 20 years ago. And so I'm very proud that people still enjoy the products that I'm creating, and we've been around all this time. The biggest hurdle that I had in starting my business was when I started, I truly had no money. And I was fortunate to convince a bank to give me a $25,000 line of credit. And because of that, I was able to start this business and grow it organically over many, many years. It was actually many years until I would say probably at least 4 years, when I worked for 4 years and didn't take a dime from this business. And I just had to work it as a side gig. But after 4 years of doing that, I was then able to cut the cord with my regular job and go it alone with this business. But that was a huge challenge to make that work. So fortunately, it all worked out in the end, but times were very, very lean in the beginning. The advice I would give to students regarding their career is you never really know where things are going to lead. And so although you might start your career doing one thing, you never know where it's going to end up necessarily. Some people do, and that's great, but obviously for me, that was not the case. So I think the most important thing is to work hard, and whatever you choose to do it well and try to become really good at what it is that you do for a living. And I think you'll enjoy it a lot more.